Once again, another live stream. Let's chat about Freemasonry. Any thoughts you guys have on Freemasonry? Positive, negative, or neutral? Oops. Or really anything you want to talk about. These 1 a.m. streams, I don't really have 1 a.m. Eastern. I don't really have specific topics. It's more I just hang out and wait to see who wants to join. As my computer freezes. Let me know how it's going and if there is anything you want to talk about. Let me see if I can do this. All right, turn it back on in a second. Maybe I have to do an update to my computer. All right, well, let's give it a second. My computer's being funky. In the meantime, please let me know how it's going. Please hit that like and subscribe button and let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. Positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear it. I don't have any specific topics for the 1 a.m. stream. That's not to say, by the way, that we can't discuss some of the topics I've previously touched on, including today's topic, which was all about lessons that we as Freemasons can take from professional wrestling, which there are 3 main ones, although a friend of mine and a brother actually provided me with the 4th one, which is also very valuable. So yeah, so that was really cool. However, mostly is just hang out and chat, see how it's going. So please jump on the chat, say hello, and like I said, let me know if there is anything that you want to talk about. I'm going to give it a bit of time. We're going to see who joins. Don't forget, I have some very exciting things coming up on Friday at 8 a.m. I have a live stream starting at 8 a.m. It's going to go the full day. That's going to be really fun. So I'm looking forward to that very much. That starts 8 a.m. We're going to be talking about Freemasonry and the written word, written format of Freemasonry, particularly. I guess what I would say is Freemasonry and communication in written format, and why we as Freemasons should be not simply communicating via social media through videos, through this type of content on YouTube, but also written content. I mean, Substack is a good example, or Medium is a very good example. So that will be that will start 8 a.m. on September 19th, this Friday. September 20th, I can do a live stream on Instagram. September 21st, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour live stream starting 2 p.m. Eastern and going right through until my birthday. So that'll be a lot of fun, September 22nd. But for now, let's give it a bit of time and let's see who joins. Please jump in the chat, say hello, and let me know if you want to chat about Freemasonry. And if you do, anything you have to talk about. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear them. Thank you, Chris. Wonderful to see you too. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. I really appreciate you joining. Is there anything new and exciting going on for you? I think oh, and tomorrow my stream is going to be a little bit different. My streams will likely be coming at you from Devonshire Mall because I'm going to be going to see The Long Walk in theaters. And before that, I'll do my live stream at 1 a.m. Um, in front of the. Basically, I'm going to do a stream before I see the movie and then a stream after I see the movie and then discuss my feelings about it once again. So that'll be really fun and really special because I love that movie. I love the book and I love the movie as well. Please, in the meantime, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. Anything positive, negative, or neutral. I do not. I'm not even sure what that is. That sounds vaguely familiar for some reason, but I can't think of why. Hinduism. I just typed something into Google. Is that what it is? Maybe you talked about it to me before because it sounds really familiar. If not you, I feel like I've heard it before from somewhere. I just can't think of where. Is it something, as I do like, so I looked up on Google because it said a Hindu tradition involving yoga. Is that something that you're, like, are you into yoga? Are you into specific types of yoga? Give me a bit of time. We're going to see who joins. Jump in the chat, say hello. Any thoughts you guys have on Freemasonry? Please let me know, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. And in the meantime, we're just going to wait to see who joins. This is a Ask Us Anything stream. This is a Hangout stream. So, yeah, so anything you want to talk about, please jump in the chat. We're just going to wait and see. Like I said, this is one of those streams where it's just anything we want to chat about. Nothing in particular, nothing specific. I'm just hanging out to see who joins me in the chat and wants to say hello. Interesting, as someone who I do consider myself a traveler, I have that tattoo that says traveler right there. I think to be a Freemason is to be a traveler. And I think a big part of that idea of being a traveler is caring about all the people who make travel possible, whether it be from the airline perspective, specifically the airline pilots, the flight attendants, the ground crew that services the planes, all of the staff in the airports themselves, whether it be custodian staff that keeps the airports clean, whether it be and safe, whether it be the mechanics keep the airports fixed, whether it be all the workers in the airport shops. Um, there's a million different examples of it, but I do consider myself, and then I'd also mention all the customs officers who make travel possible. And for all of that, I would just mention, how much I appreciate their work and their efforts. I've talked about that on social media before. The fact that there is a government probe right now of unpaid work in the airline industry. I don't know enough. I know very little about it. Um, but I do want to make sure, and I would hope that everybody who is working in the airline industry helps, is getting paid what they are deserved to gets paid what they're deserving. This was an article in CBC today. So, federal government has outlined the next steps it will take into its investigation into unpaid work in the airline industry. Ottawa to probe allegations of unpaid work by flight attendants. One of the key complaints for the union representing Air Canada flight attendants is workers are not paid for duties performed when planes are not in the air. I'll have to read this. Maybe I'll bring this up tomorrow at 1 p.m. Who knows? We shall see. In the meantime, though, we're just going to wait to see who joins. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Let me know how it's going. Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry or anything you want to talk about, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear it. Or really anything else you want to talk about. Positive, negative, or neutral. And thank you to everybody who hit the like button so far. We had a great stream this morning. I'm sure we have another great stream tomorrow. Or I guess today, technically 1 p.m. But right now, I'm just waiting to see anybody jumps in the chat to say hello. TG, welcome back. It's good to see you again. I know you've been on the stream before, so it's good to have you back. How's it going? I'm just hanging out. These 1 a.m. streams are just me hanging out. Obviously, I talk about Freemasonry, but I don't really have any specific topics with these 1 a.m. streams. It's more just chatting about whatever. So, obviously, first and foremost, Freemasonry, but otherwise, anything you want to talk about, let me know. And let me know if you'll be joining me for my other streams I've got happening in the next couple days, specifically the 19th, 20th, and 21st. We're just going to give it a bit more time. We're going to see who joins. I'm going to wait. Like I said, I do this for about an hour. Really, for this stream, I'm just going to see who joins and who wants to chat. Go walk the dog. That is very important. Walking the dog matters. So don't think you have to hang out with me. The dog is. I like animals more than I like most people. So it's 8 a.m. So you're in a different time zone, obviously. So you, I think, are overseas somewhere. But it is great to have you join, and I appreciate it, even for a few moments. Like I said, anytime you can join, I truly appreciate it. And like I said, I'm just here hanging out, waiting to see who wants to chat. So Lithuania. I thought Lithuania would be further. There'd be more of a time change, honestly, between Lithuania and Windsor. I'm surprised it's just about 6 hours, to be honest. But cool. It's always fun learning something new every day. Ugh. I should probably close my window. There's a bunch of traffic, but that's okay. Not a lot of people joining us right now, so I'll keep it open at the moment. Wowen Ombeck says, I'm going to assume that was a hi. Hello, Wowen. How's it going? I think you're new to the stream. I hope you hit the like and subscribe button. And let me know how it's going if there's anything you want to talk about. Nice. I've been to New Jersey once, very quickly. I wish that I had, got a chance to be there for longer. I visited a single Masonic lodge there. The building itself actually was, the lodge wasn't meeting, so I went to the building, which was closed, but I got some pictures of it. So that was really fun. But yeah, I'd like to get back there to visit more of the Masonic lodges there. What do you prefer, New Jersey or Lithuania, out of curiosity? Very cool. I'm sure it feels amazing how quickly time flies for you when you think back to when you were there versus now. Actually, that's kind of how I always feel. 20 years. Okay, so like 2005 or so, which to me it's funny. Whenever I think of like 25 years ago, or 20 years ago, I always imagine the 1980s is 20 years ago. Because to me, time stopped at like the 2000s or in 2000. So it's funny to think 20 years ago was actually 2005 and not 1985. What were some of the really cool things about New Jersey, if you remember? Don't remind me. I'm trying not to think about the fact that I'm getting older, especially because it's my birthday on September 22nd. So I'm going to be 25 years old, luckily. So there is that. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Although I like to think that, I guess in some ways we should be grateful for the fact that we're getting older because it's better than the alternative. So you're about the same age as me. Well, you're a little bit older than me, but not by much. Um, yeah, so you're a little bit older than me. Because I'm still sticking to the story that I'm 25 years old, just for the record. So I just want to make that clear. I'm 25 years old. Um, so you're actually 21 years older than me, or some other people would say I'm actually 41, about to be 42 years old. But we're not going to tell anybody about that, just for the record. But is there anything really cool about New Jersey that you remember? That, like, if you're recommending to people who are visiting it, anything they should check out in particular that you have, let's say, really fond memories of? What's going on, that taco guy? How's it going? Thank you for joining. I'm doing well. I'm just doing my typical 1 a.m. stream. I usually do these for about an hour. Being younger and handsome is always a fun memory. I'm sure you're still very handsome though now. Um, just chatting. Really, it's just this the stream to chat about anything. Obviously, this channel talks about Freemasonry, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about, like I said, whatever else we want to chat about. This is me just hanging out, waiting to see who joins. I'm glad things are not too bad. I hope things continue to be not too bad for you. And I hope that you, as always, will keep tuning in. The next stream I've got is 1 p.m. Technically today, 1 p.m. It's September 16th. And then please don't forget, I have my full day live stream on Friday, September 19th, as well as a Instagram live on the 20th, and then a live stream for 24 hours starting Sunday, September 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, so please make sure to join for one or all of those. Or just, as always, 1 p.m. as well. But on Friday, September 18th, we're going to have a stream starting at 8 a.m. We're going to be talking about Freemasonry and I guess the written content, written ways that we can use writing to promote Freemasonry. Then that's from 8 a.m. to probably about 8 p.m. Then a Insta Live on the 20th of September. And the 21st, a 24-hour live stream starting the 21st at 2 p.m. and going to the 22nd at 2 p.m., which is going to be an absolute blast, I have no doubt. I did not. What happened on WWE Raw? Anything exciting? Anything cool? It's funny because today on my 1 p.m. stream, I talked about Freemasonry and professional wrestling and how the two could connect and why the two should connect. So, no, I did not see it, though. I know Raw is doing very, very well at the moment, obviously. I think professional wrestling in general is doing very well at the moment. Nice. That's really cool. So I'm guessing you watch WWE. Do you ever watch AEW or Impact or anything, or um, do you stick to WWE primarily? Nice. But it sounds like your preference is It sounds like your preference is for WWE. I like them both, but I do like AEW and like Impact as well, for that matter. There's a lot of great ones out there. He is, and Josh Alexander is one of the best workers we got right now, by far. One of the best wrestlers out there. I think he's incredibly underrated. Um, so I wish more people knew about him because he is so talented. Just giving it a bit of time. We're gonna wait to see who joins. If this, like I said, I'll give it till maybe an hour in, and then I'll get myself to sleep because I do have a busy day tomorrow. A busy day, but a very fun day as well. Gonna get finally a lot of things accomplished that I've been putting off. They are, and I love that as well. They're two of the best, right? Two of the best, both in a tag team sense and just two of the best individual wrestlers as well. I'm just looking right now at all the different things happening in Michigan, which looks really cool. The problem is a lot of these Michigan events that are taking place are in these really small towns, which getting to small towns in Michigan is not the easiest. Fly, welcome, Fly. I hope you hit the like and subscribe button. Fly says Free Palestine. I mean, this channel is about Freemasonry. Everybody has different opinions within Freemasonry on Palestine. I'll say myself, I'm a two-stater. You can take it for whatever it's worth. I think the future in the Middle East requires a Palestinian state and an Israeli state, and a Palestinian state that is ultimately free, or at least as free as any other state can be, in my humble opinion. Well, I wouldn't say that personally, but you can obviously disagree. Um, but I do think what's happening right now in Palestine is, I guess, atrocious or monstrous, or pick your term. I think it's just an incredible tragedy. No, no mod. I mean, I'm going to be ending this stream soon, anyways, so I'm not going to have any mods. Um, yes, I heard WrestlePalooza is coming up. That also looks pretty incredible. Um, I think that looks absolutely awesome. Like I said, wrestling right now in general seems to be absolutely crushing it at the moment. which is really, really impressive to see. Well, Fly does not seem to like me very much. That's okay. I still hope to hit the like and subscribe button. I mean, I am born and raised here in Canada and proud of it. I love Canada. Greatest country in the world. I heard about that match. I'm sure it's going to be incredible. Um, well, I don't want to go back. I like it here. I don't even know where I'd go back, to be honest. Trying to figure out if I can make it to this Masonic breakfast. It's $5 for all you can eat breakfast. And let me tell you, the breakfast looks pretty incredible. Millington, Michigan. How do I make it to Millington? Maybe from... Well, I like to think it's not anybody's land per se, for whatever it's worth. I like to think that, it belongs to us all in different ways. Hey, Winnipeg produces some absolutely incredible wrestlers. Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Don Callis for that matter. Absolutely incredible wrestlers. Um, so, and then me as well. I can put myself in there because why not? I do speak English, that is true. Okay, there's actually something happening in Pontiac. He's awesome. Kenny Omega, and I actually grew up with Kenny Omega in an interesting little piece of trivia because I was born in Winnipeg, as was he, and he was 2 houses down from me, which was really cool. I do look like Kane, and I will take it. Um, well, this land is my land, and it is your land. This land, in fact, was made for you and me. And I'm a firm believer in that, even though it was an American song, nonetheless. I'm going to give this another, let's say, 10, 15 minutes. Just see who else joins. Um, and then I will end this stream. But thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. We're just giving a bit more time to see who else joins. Anything they want to talk about? No rush. Just going to see if anybody else has anything they want to chat about. As always, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Let me know how it's going. Like I said, if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear it. And I will, as you know, be back on stream at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by a stream at 1 a.m. as well. So I stick to my 1 a.m. and 1 p.m. kind of streams as often as possible, or at least as a general rule. Yes, I feel it. We're going to be heading to bed too very soon. But don't forget that taco guy. I don't know if you heard me, but outside of my normal stream schedule, I have my um, stream on the 19th that is going to start at 8 a.m. and go until, uh, basically for the whole day. We're going to be talking about writing. I'm going to share some examples of my writing as well as some things I'm learning about. The 20th, stream on Instagram, and the 21st, a 24-hour live stream. So I hope you guys will be there for some or all of those streams. Please keep them in mind. Turn on your notifications if they're not done, if you're not done so already. So whenever I'm streaming, you get a notification. It would be much appreciated. Nice. Well, I mean, my written work is on Medium. Where's your stuff, your written work? If you don't mind my asking, where do you usually leave it? Or post it or publish it, I guess I should say. Wonderful. I look forward to seeing you then. So you write music, or do you actually write and like perform as well? Nice. Do you write screenplays for other people? Because I have these ideas for screenplays that I really want to write. I just don't have any idea how to write them. And I would love it if somebody could help me figure out how to take these ideas and actually produce screenplays. But it sounds like you have a very creative mind. You do music, you rap, you do screenplays. That's awesome. Certainly more skillful than I am. What are some of the things you produce? Well, then get in touch with me and send me your info so I can see about maybe figuring if we can work together to collaborate on these ideas. What are some of the things you've written in the past, if you don't mind like, is there any credits of yours? Well, this would be like a full length, either play or full length television movie. So, wow, Mr. Keeps, you're here at 1 a.m. Usually you should be sleeping, especially you should be sleeping since you're not feeling well, and you need to get your rest. I'm gonna be heading off to bed soon myself. These 1 a.m. streams I do for about an hour. I just hang out and chat with people. Um, are you at least feeling better? Did you try the hot toddy approach of the suggestion of my father, or Um, did you get the what was it that you're out of? The lozenges? Good. Sometimes you just get those 24-hour, 24-hour bugs or 48-hour bugs, I think it was, and you feel better after. It can be sometimes kind of a nice feeling to be sick in a weird way, like with a cold or a flu, because you get to wear, your comfortable sweatshirt, put the blankets on, drink your tea with honey and lemon, or in my dad's case, a hot toddy, and kind of give yourself a chance to heal. Catch up on watching movies you never get the chance to watch. Okay, so basically, this has been like a 76-hour flu. I can't do math in my head. 24, 48, 70. Yeah, 70, like a 76-hour flu, basically. So that's a real pain. And it especially sucks like when you end up sick on the weekend. That's the worst. At least when you're sick during the week, in theory, you can take the day off of work or whatever it is. When you're sick on the weekend, it's like you don't even get the benefit of that. You just get sick, and especially because people so often they will like schedule all of their errands and things they need to get done for the weekend. So then you get sick, you have to push that stuff back. It's just the worst. It's just the worst. Just gonna wait to see if anyone jumps in the chat. Like I said, I've got my kind of ideas and plans of what I want to talk about the next few days. But these 1 a.m. streams, as always, it's just kind of waiting to. I just respond to who's in the chat and what they want to talk about. So it's kind of dependent on who jumps in the chat to say hello. Tomorrow it's going to be kind of a long walk themed stream once again. I'm going to do a post before I see the movie and after I see the movie. I'm going to talk about my thoughts going in and then my thoughts coming out. It's the second time I've watched it. I wanted to do it twice because it did affect me, the movie. And so um, I think it gives me a chance to kind of sit with my feelings and my thoughts, and then seeing it again helps me better understand those thoughts. Well, I mean, I guess it depends what horror movie you watched. Disturbed, I would hope not, because, um, just. I mean, I've never found horror movies disturbing. I find them scary sometimes. I enjoy the feeling of um, being scared. It's kind of like a roller coaster, right? I like jump scares. Never heard of 5150 Elms Way. Is that one of those? Um, 2009 Canadian psychological horror film. It's Canadian, at least. Um, I appreciate the fact that it's Canadian, and it's actually, I'm just looking at it on Wikipedia. It's based on an article. Um, it's based on a Canadian novel, according to Wikipedia. I mean, to me, um, if whenever there are people who don't really watch scary movies and are interested in watching one, my recommendation is always either Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, or the original Leprechaun, starring Jennifer Aniston. Because I think that they are both, they are scary movies, but they are also very fun movies. They're low stakes movies. They're not going to leave you. I mean, the deaths in them and everything around them is so over the top and so kind of slasher movie. um Everything is done through the lens of like the 80s slasher films, that you have a good time with it. But throughout the whole thing that this isn't, you get to suspend your disbelief, but in a way that's comfortable because it's so over the top and ridiculous. Um, the frights, at the moment it's scary when Jason or the leprechaun jumps out from behind a door, but it doesn't stick with you after. Well, that's a type of scary. I mean, I get scared with cartoonish kind of horror, if you want to use that term. Um, it's definitely a different type of scary than something like, well, I mean, Eden Lake or 5150 Elms Way, or any of those kind of, or like The Divide, any of those kind of people being horrible to other people, and kind of plumbing the depths of that type of. But that's never been the type of horror I've really enjoyed, per se. Um, if I'm getting the name of it right, I just want to double check to make sure I'm getting it correct. Yeah, Eden Lake is a scary movie, from 2008, set in Britain. It was part of a whole bunch of kind of films of there was a whole bunch of horror films that came out from England in the late 2000s. It was part of what's called the Broken Britain films. It was basically a whole bunch of movies where it was either younger British teenagers or young kind of British adults doing horrible things to other people. Um, in Eden Lake, basically these young kids decide to abduct and torture this older couple. When I say older, they're in the like 40s. Um, there was a whole bunch of films in that realm, um, where it's basically like all the young people are terrible. There's crime everywhere, and we're gonna show people acting horrible to other people. Um, Cherry Tree Lane was another one where it's the same thing. Um, but I mean, you see, I think like The Divide, I Spit on Your Grave. It's just people being terrible to other people, which I've never really enjoyed those. There can be good in the sense of they can be really good at ratcheting up the tension, but at a certain point, once you've ratcheted up the tension enough, you're kind of left with no choice but to actually do horrible things to other people, and then it becomes almost a contest of how horrible can you be, right? Which is not a fun thing. I don't really enjoy that. Um, I do not know. I have no clue to what you're referring with that. It could be because it's 1 in the morning. Um, I do not know. Oh, Stephen King novel. King novel. Oh, yeah, Gerald's Game, which I didn't mind the book actually. I didn't hate the book. Not my favorite Stephen King book. Not even close, to be honest. But it was a decent read. I haven't seen the movie yet. But yeah, to me, what I like is, especially with the scary movie, as a general rule, the scary movies I tend to go for are you have one um, killer. Usually, he can have some type of supernatural quality to him, like a Freddy Krueger or even a Jason Voorhees, or It can be a whodunit mystery where you don't know who the killer is, and then a group of teenagers, young adults, whatever it is, who are trying to deal with like the killer. And generally speaking, they're decent people or good people, and there's no real villains except for one, and even that one is kind of outside of the group. If that makes any sense. So like Friday the 13th Part 6, Sorority Row, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Prowler, oh my gosh, all the Halloweens, all the Child's Plays. I love all those. It's interesting actually to bring this back to Freemasonry because of course It Chapter 2 was filmed in at least partially was filmed in the Scottish Rite Cathedral in Hamilton. So it has a really cool Masonic connection there. I enjoyed so I don't even remember much about the original, like the It Chapter 1. I did see It Chapter 2, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I agree that's a good hero to have. Well, it's called the Scottish Rite Cathedral. If you saw it, you'd understand, because it does look like a cathedral. I don't know if that's its actual official title or not, but everybody calls it that. It's actually called. It's actually called the Scottish Rite Club of Hamilton. But I always call it the Scottish Rite Cathedral. But technically, it's the Scottish Rite Club. But it's in Hamilton. It's an absolutely beautiful building. It's a historic building. It's been used in a ton of television shows, movies. It's a regular location where they film Murdoch Mysteries at. It's the City Hall in Goodwich, which is one of my favorite TV shows from Hallmark. It's the Middleton City Hall. It's been used for Crimson Peak. It was used in It Chapter 2. It's a really beautiful building. It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah. But whenever I think of it, I always think of it in terms of the Scottish Rite Cathedral. It was also used for Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which I did not know. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City 2021. Crimson Peak, I knew that. The Boys. The building is a frequent filming location for Hallmark and Lifetime movies and Murdoch Mysteries as well. There's actually the Hamilton Spectator has a whole thing about it. I guess 300. I wonder if I can actually get the, let's see, Hallmark Christmas movies filmed at Hamilton Masonic Temple, or Hamilton Scottish Rite. Royal Christmas Ball. It played a castle. I guess Christmas in Toyland. But by the way, Mr. Keeps, just on a side note, because you mentioned it, I did really love the It movie from the 90s. I guess it was actually not it was a TV series. I do miss back in the day when you had those old, when you had like television events. All of them were Stephen King movies where it was like advertising. It was a 2 day thing. It was a Stephen King movie like The Stand, The Shining, It, Storm of the Century. Those were really, really cool. I wish we had more of those. Weren't they? They were really awesome. Um, there was, I do miss that aspect of entertainment in general. I think we're missing that in some ways, maybe even as a society. Like, I don't know what you'd call it, destination television. The idea of like, oh, it's Sunday night, so it's time for The Wonderful World of Disney or whatever it is, right? And you'd all sit down at the screen and watch The Wonderful World of Disney together, or miniseries, set your calendars. Um, all of that stuff is really cool. By the way, I learned something. It's funny. I thought I was going insane for the longest time because, speaking of scary movies, as most people know, my favorite movie franchise in horror movies and just movies in general is the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And the very first Nightmare on Elm Street I saw was a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. What was really cool about that, so I watched it at a friend's house. We were having a sleepover. I was, I don't know, 10, 11 maybe. I think I was 10 years old. Um, and we stole or we borrowed uh, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. It was a VHS tape that my friend's father had recorded, and he recorded it off of the television. And the start of this movie, it was actually a music video. It was Dawkins performing the song Dream Warriors over the opening scene or throughout the opening scene of that movie. And I had this really vivid memory of that. However, every single time I've watched a Dream Warriors or rented it, or even bought like multiple DVDs at different garage sales or whatever, it never starts with that music video. It never starts with Dawkins playing the music video. And I always thought, did I just imagine it? Like what happened? Why do I have that vivid memory of it? Even though no other version includes it. And I found out my friend's dad must have recorded it from the broadcast on television because the television broadcast, they included that music video special just for that broadcast. It wasn't included on any VHS or DVD um, uh, releases, at least to my knowledge. And if it was, I never know to find it. But I did receive confirmation online that no, I wasn't insane. There was actually a version of that movie that started with the music video. So there you go. I guess I wasn't going crazy after all, or probably still am going crazy, but for different reasons. Or there's different proofs of it. Yes, the Mandela effect, hence the Bernstein Bears thing. Yes, that is what it's called. So, but all right, guys, I think I'm going to end this stream. Thank you so much. This has been a fun stream. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. You'll find me. Actually, I'll probably be at Devonshire Mall doing the stream from there. But I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much, Mr. Keeps. Glad you're feeling better. Keep on feeling better. Keep on recovering. Thank you for all the likes, and I'll see you all soon.